What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to For Strategy Gaming. It's more Starcraft 2 commentary. As always, looking forward to casting this series, but specifically, I'm looking forward to casting this series because we've got the little one playing as Zerg. The little one over here in the lower right-hand position of Antigua Shipyard as our purple Zerg player, and then over here in the upper left-hand position, someone else I'm also very excited to do commentary for is GoOdy, our red Terran player. So yes, this is going to be a TvZ, Terran versus Zerg, GoOdy versus the little one, starting off here on Antigua Shipyard. Now, if you don't know, you happen to watch the little one or any of my commentaries, you might say, hey, Forrest, lately I've been seeing the little one play a lot of Terran. Well, the little one, of course, is known for being one of the only fairly steady random players. Now, he has been sticking with Terran primarily for quite some time, but he will mix it up on various matchups, or maybe just because he feels like it. So again, as we can see, the little one is playing as Zerg in this matchup. Oh, looks like there was a little bit of pause time going on. Someone tell me if image is back when it is back. What? Okay, go. Right, wonderful. So yes, a little one over here in the lower right-hand position as our Zerg player. You can see Overlord now making its way across the map in that cross-positional pathing. There you go. That's the wording I was looking for. Second Overlord right now going to make its way to the front of the ramp. Now he should be spotting out. Oh no, it looks like he was just barely out of the range of that SCV. SCV moving down, and ooh no, realizing that they are in cross-positional spawns. Given just this map in particular, this version of the map, cross-positional, is what you are up against. And right now, GoOdy immediately coming down with an engineering bay and a hatchery being dropped here by the little one in a proxy location. What in the heck is this? A little one dropping his hatchery way far away from that resource line in response to spotting this this engineering bay here. Now, this is going to be considered really a macro hatch, and I do expect him to also come out with a hatchery right over here. He will just primarily be using this hatchery for extra larvae. Now, keep in mind, of course, he can still mine from it, but it is not optimal, so he is going to want to come out with another hatchery right here once he gets rid of this engineering bay. But at the moment, he is content with just using that until he gets that other hatchery up. That's basically going to be his game plan. Instead of trying to move a natural expansion over here, which would be a lot more vulnerable to attacks from GoOdy, and instead of coming out with a macro hatch inside of his main, he decided, hey, I'll just do a macro hatch right there by the natural. I'll mine from it while the real mining hatchery gets put up and built as soon as this engineering bay is dropped. Unbelievable response there by the little one. Very quick as well. We saw he did not hesitate to do that. So we do see right here, spawning pool has popped up for the little one, so we should start making a few Zerglings. He's got actually two queens coming out, one down here and one over here. We'll be working down this engineering bay with a drone, but then actually, there we go, just decided to start going to mining right now, and hopefully we see about 2 to 4 Zerglings. And back over here, we can see the little one doing a little harass of his own, albeit maybe not nearly as effective as the harass that GoOdy has been able to do. He will, as we can see, come down over here with this extractor, and he was doing that cancellation trick. We'll see if he actually does it again right before it finishes, canceling off the extractor and then rebuilding it, and there you go, he did it. Got a little bit of those resources back, 19 out of the 30 that it cost. Now, for GoOdy himself, what is he coming out with? Well, we can see that factory making its way on through. He does have that barracks, and now he should finally be able to kill off this building extractor as well as that drone. He does have 3 Marines, and that is going to be the magic number to be able to DPS that down fast enough, faster than it actually can generate health. We do also have a bunker coming up over here. Looks like we'll be seeing Marine Hellion for an opening, and the engineering bay starting to get worked down finally. That's going to force GoOdy to cancel that off, get a few of his resources back. Be just one moment. Is he gonna do it? There we go, canceling it back, so you can see getting 94 resources back. And you should see right now, as mentioned, we are going to expect another hatchery to get placed right here. Obviously the little one does not want to mine this far a distance permanently, so he is likely going to want to come out with another hatchery sometime very soon, just to get a little bit closer to mining, because again, this is certainly far from optimal. I mean, this is almost 2 or 3 times the distance that these drones on this side would have to travel. Right over here, this isn't as bad, but these mineral patches over here, that is quite the distance for those drones to be able to travel. And again, it really cuts back on the amount of income that you're getting as a result. Hellions now on the map for GoOdy. We'll be getting map control up until the point that metabolic boost comes into play, and even then, if he has enough Hellions, he should still be able to maintain map control. Looks like we will be seeing, of course, the 1-1-1 opener going with Marines and Hellions. We're going to expect some type of early on harass with this unit composition. Something that I've seen from time to time is dropping the Hellions and Marines right in the main and just trying to do a whole bunch of damage. 2 queens guarding the front against possible Hellion pushes that may move in. I'm a little surprised we aren't seeing a spine crawler, and there it is, finally the little one dropping that extra hatchery, and you can see just in the perfect location, the macro hatch right right next to it, you know, just abutting it very, very exactly in the exact position it needs to be. I don't know why I had so many troubles. Had so many troubles with my words there. Anyways, we do have a layer coming out for the little one as well. So the little one working his way up into layer tech. The metabolic boost almost finished right now, getting a few more Zerglings. But here it comes right now, the push, moving across the map with those Hellions and a full medevac of Marines. And he will be dropping in the main. There you go. So that's exactly what GoOdy had in mind. And with the Overlord, the little one fully aware of this, moving up with those Zerglings, but he needs to be careful because, again, as you can see, Hellions on the low ground are going to be able to spot these Marines here. And GoOdy has a great opportunity to do a lot of damage right now. Bunch of Queens pushing forward, but there are lots of Marines there, and that's going to help tremendously at dropping those Queens. The Hellions alone would be awful, but the Marines not so bad at taking out those Queens. Needs a micro back. There we go. All 3 Hellions still alive. I think he is down. Oh no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is down 1 Marine, but that is it. He's only lost 1 Marine this entire time, and now working down that spawning pool. This is getting very dangerous right now for the little one. He's not mining from his main base at all. Finally trying to converge right now. Moving on the backside with those Zerglings. Getting a full surround. Queen's trying to help with the DPS as well. And I think he may have enough right now. 1 Queen being microed back. Oh no, ends up losing it there, unfortunately. But enough Zerglings finally able to come up, mop up the rest of these. But you know what? The GoOdy did quite a bit of damage that entire time. As you can see, the little one was not mining from this base. He was forced down there, sitting oversaturated. And you actually, of course, don't get the full effect of your mining when you're far too oversaturated like that. Let's take a look right now what he ended up killing. No workers, but ended up killing 26 units. In terms of the resources lost, they're about even, but with the little one slightly behind. So there you go. It ended up being effective. Maybe not the most effective. Here's some counter aggression from the little one. He will, of course, with this, be delaying the expansion from getting dropped. That is actually a very, very nice response. As you can see, GoOdy pretty much threw everything he had at that attack, and back home, he's not sitting with a lot. Like, yes, he does have this transition into Siege Tech and Cloak Banshees. This Cloak Banshee counterattack does have an opportunity to do a bit of damage. He does actually have 2 in play right now. This one still hasn't done any damage. He's just waiting until Cloak Research does finish. 1 Hellion scouting out over there for a possible expansion. We're seeing some nice creep spread over here from the little one. And here we go. We should be seeing these Banshees finally move into attack at the same time. Siege Tech almost finished. We'll be going Marine tank composition after this. And it's time to start picking off some workers. 2 drones down. Cloak gets dropped immediately. We've got a Roach Warren and Evolution Chamber coming out, but he does need some Spore Crawlers in play if he's going to be able to detect this. We've got an Overseer coming out. That's going to help a bit. But the worker dead count is climbing and climbing. 7, 8. Keeps going higher. That Overseer just about to pop. He will be able to shoot those Banshees away, but with a little bit of micro, GoOdy's going to be able to get off a few more kills. Forced to push back right now as those Queens are able to engage. And there you go. We've got 6 worker kills for that Banshee, 7 for that one. The total going to be 12 right now. 12 worker. Wait, how does that does not add up? He must have killed a Zergling. I was gonna say 6 plus 7 does not equal 12. It equals 13. You big derp. So yes, he must have killed a Zergling in the mix there as well, or maybe it was a Queen. I do not know, but it doesn't really matter. Either way, he has managed to kill off 12 workers, so that was a fairly effective attack. I don't know if that fully paid for his Banshees, especially given all the Vespene that they cost, but still, some harass is going to help him quite a bit. And as you can see, GoOdy now working into his natural expansion. We take a look at the production tab. We've got another factory coming out in Armory. Looks like we will actually be seeing a mech style play. So I initially anticipated a Marine tank heavy, but with so many factories, we have to assume that he's going for a heavy mech style. That's of course going to be Hellions, Thors, and Siege tanks. That's going to be the primary unit composition for him. Banshees at this point in the game can maintain map control, especially since we're not seeing much anti-air at all from the little one. He is just going Roach heavy at the moment. You can see all those upgrades coming out. He is planning a Roach drop. That is a course of action that the little one has decided to take. Little one also working down these rocks so that he can push on into the third of GoOdy once his base eventually does get dropped. But as we can see, GoOdy's still just on those 2 bases, although he does have a building command center right now, and that is almost finished. And again, we're going to see that mech transition very soon. You can see again the level 1 vehicle weapons upgrades, and GoOdy prepared to go mech heavy. He's getting a 4th factory as well, and we'll be going Vikings to help with that composition. Another expansion coming out here for the little one. Finally, little harass over here by this 1 Hellion. A couple of Roaches moving down. Should take care of that quickly. Do keep in mind we will be seeing a roach drop very, very soon. You can see the speed upgrade now finished. He's just about finished the carrying for those overlords as well. So once that is finished, he is going to be able to do a roach drop, probably throwing in a few speedlings in there as well. Would be really cool to actually see him get 1 or 2 queens in there so we can drop a creep tumor once he does get in the main. That would be very, very awesome. Little one has finally broken down these rocks back over here. It's gonna be a little while until we see a push, maybe a couple more minutes from GoOdy, just because he is just now getting up all of his factories and starting to produce out of them. He's going to want to wait, of course, till he's got a strong enough army. Mech, of course, can be very strong against ZerG. The problem is that it's so slow. This is I would say about a medium-sized map. This isn't one of the larger maps in the game. So Mech is going to be better on a map like this as opposed to one of those huge, huge maps. As example, Terminus. Terminus is a giant map. Very hard to pull off Mech and TvZ there. But again, it is quite possible that it could be effective. We will have to see, though, how he deals with this. Overlord drop coming in now right now from the little one, moving straight into the main. We should be seeing him drop some creep as well, and there you go. So Roach is in the main. He's got 1 queen there. We need that creep to get dropped before that tumor can get placed down. There we go, dropping down the tumor. We'll see if that gets up. No, that gets taken out pretty quickly. Roach is over here, gonna be stopping any mining from the main. We've got a bunch of Marines pulling down, 1 tank sieging up, and I'm not sure how much damage this is going to end up doing. He's going to be losing all those overlords from those Vikings. Roach is stuck in the corner, getting sandwiched, but at the same time, take a look at the mini-map. We got a little counterattack here, moving right into the natural. That's going to start mining from over here, and right now, GoOdy's pretty much got no mining going on from either base. His income right now very, very shoddy, although I don't think the little one ended up doing too much damage with that push. He was able to stop mining for quite a long time, and that is fairly significant. You can see heavy oversaturation over here. A lot of SCVs moving around, not doing a whole lot of mining, basically, because he's got too many there. And finally working to resaturate that expansion. I don't know how much damage he did. Let's take a look over here. Yeah, that did not work out for the little one. He ended up losing much more than he ended up doing in damage, and that's pretty much what I expected from watching the battle. But again, keep in mind, he was able to stop mining for quite a bit. A burrowed Zergling, so frustrating right now for GoOdy. He must be like, oh man, I gotta move over there, drop a scan, take out the Zergling, and then I can finally drop. But look at all this time that is being delayed from being able to get up that expansion. Still hasn't dropped it. Still hasn't landed the scan. He needs to land the scan before. There we go, finally scanning. And finally able to drop that orbital command, but so delayed as a result, as you can see. A couple Hellions in the middle. They're going to be met by a few Roaches and a lot of Zerglings, but with that blue flame, that is very scary for those Zerglings. So Little One needs to be careful. Little One's still working, doing a pretty fantastic job on that creep spread. He also has a 4th base coming out over here. Finally seeing his transition now for the Little One, making his way up into Infestation Pit. Also getting another spawning pool. He didn't lose his. I don't know why he's building a second. That's a little perplexing to me. He's getting some upgrades as well. He's going to be sitting at 2-1 once those finished. Zergling counterattack right now. We're doing a little bit of damage over here, killing off a few SCVs. Managed to burrow a few Zerglings as well. That's going to be used in the future. That is very sneaky. I'm not sure there's any cloak detection over here. So at some point in the near future, those will be coming up and able to do a little bit of damage. Actually, with those siege tanks, he could force some splash against those SCVs. That's pretty fantastic in all honesty. Gonna want to do it though before that missile turret does finish, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that. A couple of Roaches and Speedlings moving on over in this direction. Vikings scouting out the center of the map without a lot of anti-air. They can certainly do that without much of an issue. Again, that second spawning pool, I'm really not sure. I think he was worried about, did he cancel it finally? He was building a second spawning pool, and I was a little perplexed. Oh, back over here, it looks like those Zerglings did finally get detected. And I'm not sure if that ended up forcing much splash damage. I think he may have killed off a few of those SCVs, but not much. Taking a look at the SCV kill count, yeah, only killing off 5 SCVs so far in the game as opposed to the GoOdy's 14. And again, we take a look at those resources lost, and the Little One, unfortunately, quite significantly behind at the moment. Now, I'm fairly certain that GoOdy knows about this expansion. No, he doesn't yet, but he will be scouting that out very momentarily with that Banshee. And once he does, it's going to force the Little One to try to come out with a Spore Crawler. But most importantly, this is a very vulnerable position right now for the Little One's expansion. Going to be quite easy for GoOdy to push on that if he chooses to do so. A couple SCVs sitting idly over here in the center of the map. I do not know what GoOdy's doing with that. Finally, GoOdy able to move those over for some saturation. That was very odd indeed. The Little One is preparing for another drop over here, although he does not have a lot doesn't have anything in his overlords right now. We'll be filling that up with those few roaches there, but that is kind of odd to me. Looks like he is planning to hit from multiple positions. Got a couple of Vikings over there, burrowed roaches over here, and finally coming out with those spore crawlers, able to defend himself from that position. Have to keep an eye on the mini-map because there is certainly a lot of action going on. So about to drop a couple of roaches, but again, he's throwing a lot of overlords into this. I think he's hoping to distract GoOdy and then hit from another angle. I believe that is his plan at least. We have a scouting overlord over here. Now let's take a look at unit composition. Again, we can see that hive is in play. We've got 6 infestors coming out, so still sitting roach and speedling heavy, but he's finally throwing some infestors into the mix. Couple of Vikings. Very devastating here for the little one. He will be taking heavy losses, and this is why I was a little perplexed as to why he was moving across the map with so many overlords, because then they become very vulnerable. And as you see here right now, the little one getting further and further behind. He is, of course, oversupply at the moment. He'll be forced to make a bunch of overlords. You can see coming out with 9 more right now. He's working his way up in Ultralist as well, but that is just some hefty losses. Finally sitting with some anti-air though. Able to drop down a fungal growth and a couple of infested Terrans, but Vikings only with landing one, only having 1 fungal land, those Vikings were able to pull back. Here we go. Couple more overlords now moving to the main. Loses 1 filled with Zerglings. And the looks like the other ones will be able to drop their payload, but let's see how much damage he's able to do with that. At the exact same time, we got a big push coming from GoOdy. GoOdy finally worked up his mech army, but he has got Zerglings and Speedlings in his main base, so he will need something to deal with this. He is sitting at supply cap right now at the moment as well as he has at max. And here comes the push right now, moving across the map. Oh, we got a lot in here. Tanks, Hellions, Speedlings. We got some Cloak Banshee. Nice fungal. Doing so much damage there, but I don't know. It's going to be pretty rough. It's still looking really scary for him. This is a very big, strong push. It's going straight into that 3rd expansion. Back over here in the main, it looks like those Speedlings still managed to do some damage. Those roaches have been taken care of, but the Speedlings are still alive. Little one in danger of losing this expansion at the moment. Scan going now, dropping a lot of those creep tumors. We got roaches and infestors and a few Speedlings over here. Coming out with 18 more overlords because he's supply capped. Holy heck, this is a problem right now. Another fungal growth gets dropped down though, and GoOdy managed to lose quite a few. He's down to just a few tanks, so he's got a fair number of tanks, but still just down to tanks and 2 Thors. He's lost pretty much the rest of his army. Speedlings inside of the main looks like they have been taken care of finally. Got an overlord moving across the map, but that's not doing anything at all. And right now that mech army still sitting right out front of the little one's base, but take a look at that production tab. The little one has got five of them, Ultralists, about to come out, so he will be waiting to mount up and attack. Once those Ultralists do pop, he'll be pushing out. He has lost his 3rd expansion. The push now working its way towards his natural expansion. Now he does still have the 4th over here mining, and it's doing all right. And here we go, Overlord's getting ready to drop right now on the bulk of the army, trying to spread them out to prevent as much splash damage as possible. And here comes the push. Also at the same time, we've got those Ultras just about to pop. He has lost everything. It drops and immediately gets taken out, but you know what's happening. A lot of splash damage getting forced against those tanks, and he's able to take out almost all those tanks. Ultras finally popping right now. A couple of Zerglings about to come out as well. We're seeing a constant stream of units from GoOdy across the map, with the little one able to finally break this contain with those Ultras, and we are going to need to see a counterattack from him. The little one, of course, again, still mining over there. There, that Thor gets taken out, no problem. Vikings still going to town because the little one just does not have enough anti-air. This expansion, though, still mining nice and safe. 1 tank trying to move over there, takes out an Ultra, and then finally gets taken out by another one. GoOdy unable to land his base because of that creep spread. Beautiful. Had to land it a little further away. That's going to get taken out very quickly. We've got a decent tank line sitting over here. GoOdy does need to siege those up, of course. That gets dropped. GoOdy not lifting off in time. Perplexed by that. Don't know why he did not lift off. And look at these Vikings just going to town, and the little one just getting dominated by Vikings right now. You can see how far behind he is. Oh my gosh, those Vikings have killed off so many Overlords. We got a couple of Hellions moving on into this expansion. Queen's trying to defend against it, but he will be losing quite a few workers as those Blue Flame Hellions quickly work through them. Finally taking out the Hellions, and that is just unreal. Look at this. The Vikings dominating the little one right now. For some reason, still hasn't gotten proper anti-air to deal with that. Really love to see some Corruptors come into play to help deal with those Vikings. You know, land a fungal growth and get those Corruptors to engage them, and there you go, you're pretty much all set. But that does not happen from the little one. Those Vikings have just been dominating him. We've got a few more Hellions prepared to move on over into this expansion. The little one hasn't dropped down any spines or anything, but he will be able to block the ramp at the moment and do a bit of damage. It's going to allow his reinforcements to push on down. We're going to have a few Ultras to deal with that small amount of Hellions. It's going to be more than enough. Nice transfuse is able to keep those Queens up, so that's a nice wall off there with those biological units there. here, walling off the Hellions and preventing them from getting on into the expansion. A couple transfuses also going down on those Ultras. We've got a push prepared to move across, but that's so many siege tanks. Little One will not be able to break that right now. He just does not have what is necessary. A couple of Vikings still over here. Little One trying to come out with another expansion. His game has just been all over the place, guys. I do not know what to say. This is absolutely nuts, and I'm quite disappointed that the Little One has taken such hefty losses in Overlord numbers to those Vikings. That was really painful to watch, to be honest with you. Vikings now landing down. Looks like they will be getting some kills of these ground units. We've got an Infestor just doing nothing. Literally just sitting there doing nothing. Finally dropping a fungal growth, but that's not even going to be enough, and the Vikings continue to go to town. And Viking's now lifting up, and they're going to start killing off some Overlords. So, again, Viking, the Achilles heel of the Little One this game, the Viking has just been supply capping him non-stop, and it's going to happen again in just 1 second. We're about to see another supply cap here for the Little One as this Overlord gets taken out. Ooh, no, the Overlord sneaks away. The Little One not fully, GoOdy not fully engaging that as he needed to. And there we go. And, oh my gosh, he's going to kill any of these? Finally, there we go, taking it out. This is kind of painful, in all honesty, to watch. He's just getting so destroyed by just a couple of Vikings. 17 kills on 9 kills, and these two Vikings are still sitting here idly doing nothing. What is going on? At the same time, though, obviously distracted by the Hellion counterattack over here. The Little One getting pushed, ends up losing, I have to say, probably quite a few more workers. Yeah, look at that, 69 workers killed by GoOdy. The Little One losing a total of 69 drones so far in this game, and GoOdy has managed to rework up his mech army and push out with another attack. This is not looking good for the Little One as GoOdy is sitting near supply cap. Yes, those Ultras are able to pound their way through some of that mech, but there's just way too much. The Little One forced to call the GG, and how about them Vikings, huh? Crazy game number 1, to say the least, here between the Little One and GoOdy, and again, unfortunately, the Little One, because of Viking numbers, ended up losing so many Overlords, was forced to recreate so many as a result as he was hitting supply cap, and that resulted in him not making more units because of being forced to make more Overlords. He just did not have proper anti-air to deal with what he was getting hit with by GoOdy, and yeah, that was a big problem in this game. So anyways, yes, that was game number 1. Moving on to game 2 in just a moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.